Hello Year 5 and welcome to your second tutorial of week 5 with me, Mr. Bristow, and this is a tutorial for all groups. So today, on the 2nd of February, we are working on your skills of visualising from a text. Now, over the next couple of weeks, while we are studying our new book, of the lost words, what's going to be really important is your understanding of the language that you are going to see in each session. So after today, I'm not going to mention it in my tutorials, but there is an expectation of you completing the definition activity like you can see on the board, which might look slightly different for you and your group. However, it's really key that before we get started you understand what all the words mean that you are going to see in that session. So if you haven't done so already, could you please pause the video and you'll complete your first activity, which is to find the definitions of these words, and then going forward it will be your responsibility to do these definitions before you watch any future tutorials over the next couple of weeks. Once you've done that, you can press play again and I will take you through today's main session. So today we are looking at our skills of visualization. Very, very important that we knew the vocabulary we were going to come up against in today's session so that we could actually do our drawing. If you don't understand a word, then you can't draw it. So I'm going to first of all model this task for you with the Kingfisher poem that we've already looked at. So if I were reading this, I would be reading it and then going back and assessing sort of keywords and phrases that will help me with my drawing that I might do. So Kingfisher, the colour giver, fire bringer, flame licker, rivers quiver, ink black bill, orange throat, and a quick blue back gleaming feather stream. Neat and still it sits on its snag of a stick until, with gold flare, fire, wing fan, whip crack the kingfisher, singfisher, flashes down too fast to follow, quick and quicker, carves its hollow. In the water, slings its arrows, super swift to swallow, stickleback or shrimp or minnow. Halcyon its other name, also ripple calmer, water nester. Evening angler, weather teller, rain bringer, and rainbow bird that sets the stream alight with burn and glitter. So really probably one of my favourite poems within this whole book. Really gives the opportunity for you guys to visualise what this kingfisher might look like. So the main stanzas, which are sort of the sentences within a poem, I'm going to be focusing on are this one here, because it gives me the colour, but it also there's also other information that I'm given throughout that's really key for this. So the first part of that is here, where it talks about its arrow. So when the kingfisher's diving, it's describing it as being an arrow. So I'm thinking that the kingfisher has quite a sharp beak. So that's where I'm going to start, with the beak. And then I'm going to draw its head. So the next thing, I mean, it doesn't seem to tell me much more about its body other than where it says its wings fan, which is here, so wing fan. So I might be drawing mine with an open wing, fanning, making me feel like the wings are open and spread. You know, I'm drawing on a little tablet on a computer screen. You guys will have, you know, pencil and pen, and you can take your time with it and make sure that it's as accurate as you can make it. So then we'll draw the body. We'll need some form of eye, and then the kingfisher's legs. And then we want the other wing, which will sort of be hidden behind here. So that's given me the basic shape. I've gone through and I've thought, right, so what are the main points that's going on? And I might have wanted to reorientate it, to have drawn it flat, but I sort of, when I read this, I'm picturing the kingfisher hovering above some water, and I think that because of in the water and how it talks about the ripples. So I'm going to spend some time colouring the background as well. Think, what might I have at the side? Does it mention in mine anything that it might sit on or do? So just a sense of being on the water. The water's rippling, so I'm trying to get that sense of movement in there as well. Unfortunately, being where we are, the water's probably not the cleanest, so try and change that a little bit. A little bit more murky. And then the ripple makes me think that there's some sort of like little fish maybe under the surface, so I'm just going to draw maybe where the fish is coming up for some sort of air or food. So that's the main parts of that drawn, and then I'm going to go back to this paragraph that I drew. Ink black bill. So in my head that means this area here is going to be dark, and I'm looking at it now and thinking, oh, ink black, now is that quite dark enough? And my answer to myself there is probably not. So I'm going to go onto the pencil, which I know is a bit darker. There we are, so we're now on ink black bill. Just taking my time to make sure, you know, it's staying neat. I'm not rushing this either. I'm drawing sort of what is in my mind at each point. There we are. So we then have orange throat. So my neck section. So the throat I know is sort of my neck area. So we'll do it going up a little bit. And we have this general area in here as orange. And then it says that the rest is blue back gleaming feather stream. So again, I'm probably going to start off with my lighter blue. And then I can always go back over and put some sort of shinier, darker blue on top to really give that effect. Now I know we've seen a kingfisher before, we looked at it the other day, and when you come to do your task you might have a preconceived idea in your mind of what that thing looks like, but it's really important that we're trying to use the definitions and the description that we've got within the poem. Okay, so you might want to label that to show some really good understanding. So I could label ripple down here, I could label the blue aspects, I could label orange throat. So I'm going to leave that there, and obviously I could have spent more time with colour making it more accurate, and I could have used labels. But now let's move. Well, first of all, let's have a look at the watercolour from the actual picture. There we are. So I've got the black bill, I've got sort of the orange throat bit. I didn't do the whole body as orange, but I definitely did the blue. So all in all, just from using the poem, we are not a million miles away there, which is good. So we needed a bluer head and an oranger body would be what I would say. So you will all be looking at the poem Adder, and I'm going to read it to you now. A hank of rope in the late hot sun, a curl of bark, a 6 and 8, for adder is as adder basks, deep in heather, coiled in gorse, sunk among the winter stones, for adder is as adder hides, darts, diamond slides, sin waves swerves, live wire curves of force, for adder is as adder glides, echo of snake, self-escape, a left-behind ghost, for adder is as adder sheds, rustle of grass, sudden susurrus, what the eye misses, for adder is as adder hisses. So there's some sort of 5 key paragraphs there, each thing giving me a different thing, a different aspect of the adder, and it's really, really good for this one if you think and take it a paragraph at a time. What is each paragraph telling you? And actually you will find that you can create a fairly comprehensive picture of that adder, the snake, where it is, and if it has anything perhaps found in this paragraph around it. If you can, then it would also be excellent if you could label your diagrams, but just like I did, make sure you take your time and remember to submit your visualizations to your teacher, and I shall see you on the next tutorial.